Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Another $400 day on Moderna. It's been treating us real good. This breakup candle, breakdown candles, gap trading strategy that we've been talking about, on our short selling and gap trading series that we have here. You can check that out on our playlist. The strategy has been helping us minimize our risk and maximize our profit. So let's take a look at the chart. Let's see what's been developing. But before we do, I want to show you our last video of what we talked about and what we have been talking about in the last few days, last few videos about what mRNA is about to do or was going to do, and now it did.
Let's take away these lines. Now we are above the breakup candle. Okay, we're above here. We've been closing here on a 5-minute, 15-minute hourly close repeatedly, building energy. This is a good setup for a continuation to 411.
So as you can see, the target was 433, and we hit that target today. So let's take a look at that chart. Just remember, this is not financial advice. This is simply education and entertainment content. And if you like this content, join us on Patreon. Remember to comment below. I like to engage with you in the comments, subscribe and like, all that good stuff. And I'll keep, providing you the analysis on Morderna and how to, profit from the intraday volatility, where to get in, where to get out. You're going to see all of this, on the chart here that I'm going to bring up. So let's take a look at that. And there we have it. We have mRNA on the docket. And we're probably going to clean this up a little bit. There's a lot of lines here, and some of them are not that important anymore because I really want to focus on what's important. This trend is important, and we got away from it a little bit. This line here at 400 was important. You could see that we were hanging around there for a couple days, and in that clip, like I was saying, once we get past these levels, we're just going to rip through to 433 like a vacuum. That's how we made $400 today on this rip, because we knew that once it got into this zone, there's not much stopping it from going higher. Why? Because here you saw that we had a very fast move down, and here we had a very fast move up. This is on an hourly chart. We decided to go with 433 as the target. The reason being is part of our strategy is looking for breakdown candle highs like we see here, and then we draw a line and they help determine important levels. This was a breakdown candle high, so that was an important level, and you can see that it just hung out here for a few days, and once it had built up enough energy, it just really took over this 411 here, and then it went straight to 413, 433, just like we talked about. So what's next for mRNA? Right, some of this previous support here is probably now resistance, so 455, and then we have another probably around here. Probably going to move this up a little bit here, about at 42, 483. It would be the next upside target. How we get there, I'm not entirely sure yet, but we do like to test previous resistance. So if we, at any point, if we come back and test this area, we will be a buyer here in this area, definitely. The first time around that it comes here, we can just literally have, we could be gapping down, and then we can rip up like this. That's possible. The next scenario is, let me just remove these lines here. The next scenario is we just hang out here and we just rest for the next couple of days to build energy, and then we move higher. And again, at any point in time, we open the day below here, it's going to open the trap door and we're going to sell off at any. So that's the bearish setup that we have when we're waiting for. So we're keeping an eye on every day. If we gap below here, we're going to let the first 15-minute candle close, and then we're going to enter our position, maybe halfway up, or we might have 2 entries here right away, and then we'll leave a little bit of powder here to enter if it goes up a little higher. And normally if we start closing, back above this line, this trend line, that's when we'll consider that we were wrong in our analysis, and we'll exit our position. We're not going to use a stop loss in the system. We're going to manually go in and exit our position, because we know markets are volatile. It could come back, spike through, and then close back down here, right? It does that from time to time, so you don't want to get stopped out for nothing. So that's the strategy here. So just to recap, if we just hang out here, that would be good. The longer we stay above, the more energy we build, and the more likelihood we're going to go higher. The bearish scenarios, it's a big gap. We're talking about a $40 gap. But if at any point, right, maybe we get all the way up to here, and then we decide to gap down. But at any point that we gap down below that, that is the bearish signal. And just like we did down here, we're going to stick with the trend as your friend. If we gap down at the support area, it's going to be a buy. So here I was uncomfortable doing it. I think it was here. At some point we gapped. I'm pretty sure it was 390. Yeah. So lessons learned, doing my self-analysis and improvement. I'm going to, if at any point we gap on this line, maybe we don't until Thursday or Friday or something, then we gap down below here, right? So I will put my buy, and then if we end up closing below here on an hourly basis, I'm going to wait an hour, then I will exit the position and I'll just take the loss, and it is what it is. But I got to get comfortable doing, the setups that work. So that's your analysis for Moderna. If you have questions, if you want more of this content, again, I'm on Patreon. We can have calls and really dive deep into this analysis. And just some bonus content here. We did have a really good trade on Apple, like little risk, almost no risk. And this is part of the gap trading series, where we learn to buy the gap fill. So this is on an hourly chart, and you can see here we closed the day at 154.37, and here we had a low of 154.40. So we did fill the gap. We like to get in it at the half or whole numbers. So we got in at 154.50. We got $2 out, or $1.50 out of this, and then we exited our position for a 1% gain. 200 shares, $200. What was it, like $300? Almost $300. So that was a good move here, and we're just killing time off the clock, right? Look at this. And so what will happen tomorrow likely is this could be a scenario. This will be a good short scenario. So watch this and pay attention carefully. What could happen is we open higher. If we open up here at like 158, and then we have a breakdown candle on the 15-minute close, we will be shorting it and using the high here as our stop loss. That's what will be. That's the strategy for Apple tomorrow. If we open lower, I know it likes to retest break up candles. This is a break up candle. So if we just open lower here, right, or we open here and then we come down into this 155.50 area, the first time it touches here, we're going to buy. Look for a bounce to maybe fill this gap, and then if we want to be technical, we can try to short this fill here, right? Maybe the price goes all the way up in this range here, and then we have a pullback for maybe 50 cents, 75 cents. But that's the play on Apple for tomorrow and Moderna. Hopefully you like this content and you're learning something. We'll see you tomorrow.